Missing, lost, trafficked, investigations. I'm Pebbles, executive news producer, creator,
Everything
and
just out here in
writer.
the airways about August 11th.
We're looking everywhere, in bushes, in ditches, in roads, everywhere. We've even gotten shot at looking.
Thing I can think about is my child's out there somewhere.
The mother's house, by the mother's house, is where they're protected.
Hard night tonight. I can't sleep. Had so many things going through my head.
Of a desperate search for Savannah Guthrie's mother. The Today Show host mom went missing over the weekend. Police say Nancy Guthrie was likely abducted and she's in urgent need of her medication. NewsNation national correspondent Nancy Liu is outside the Guthrie home with the very latest. Nancy, this is especially scary because it's somebody's mom.
Oh, absolutely, and so concerning, and there's such mystery with this case. Behind me is the Guthrie family home. It is now a crime scene as authorities suspect Nancy Guthrie may have been abducted against her will, possibly in the middle of the night on Saturday. Nancy Guthrie, she's described as 5'5", brown hair, blue eyes. Authorities emphasize she has no history of dementia, and she's described as sharp as a tack. But there's now extreme concern since the 84-year-old has mobility issues and has now been without her necessary daily medication for 2 days. Authorities aren't sharing details, but say there's enough evidence inside the home to call it a crime scene. Kemah County Sheriff Chris Nano says there's also enough reasonable suspicion for investigators to fear something tragic may have happened.
She is very limited in her mobility, right? We know she didn't just walk out of there. That we know. There are other things at the scene that indicate she did not leave on her own.
Now, Savannah Guthrie has spoken often and lovingly about her mom and her happy upbringing here in Arizona. According to law enforcement, Savannah and her security team, they are coordinating and working with authorities. In a statement that was read on air, Savannah thanked the public for their support, adding, "Right now, our focus remains on the safe return of our dear mom. We thank law enforcement for their hard work on the case and encourage anyone with information to contact the Kemah County Sheriff's Department at 520-351-4900. In addition, the department has set up a tip line with a QR code that will allow the public to submit photos or videos or any evidence that they think might help in solving this case. There's also, Nick, a $2,500 reward now in this case. Nick?
Thank you for taking the moment to speak with us. And I know that one of the biggest questions people want to know is, what message do you have for the person who took Nancy Guthrie?
Well, the very same message we saw last night by the family is, whoever it is, whoever you are, please, just let her go. Bring her home. Give somebody a call.
Okay. How seriously are you taking the deadline, that 5 p.m. deadline, which is not far from now, or even Monday's deadline in the ransom note? How seriously are you taking that?
So all the ransom notes, and I don't know what the deadlines were, that those were all given to the FBI. They are the experts in this sort of thing. They have an entire team dedicated to it. I really have to defer to them.
Okay. Do you feel confident you'll be able to bring Nancy home?
Absolutely. I have all the faith in the world in my team. They're a great team. You've seen their work themselves. a homicide out in the middle of nowhere, and in 24 hours they've arrested 2 or 3 people. I mean, time and time again, they prove I have to have faith in that. And I know people say, well, what proof do you have she's alive? And I said, what proof do you have that she's not? She's here. We're going to find her.
And there has been a lot of criticism about you giving out too much information in the case. How do you respond to that criticism?
You know, it's probably valid. I don't know. I'm sure that I can't pay attention to all that. I have people who say this, and then I have somebody on the other side saying this. I have to do what I believe is right. I have to do what I believe is in my heart, and that's all. You know, we're going to make mistakes, and that's okay, because the bottom line is we need Mom home. That's number one. All the mistakes and the criminal stuff and the courtroom stuff, those can be hammered later. Today, we just got to find her.
Lastly, let's imagine that the person, whoever took Nancy Guthrie, is watching right now. What is that message? That here's your moment to speak to them. What do you want them to know?
Let her go. Bring her home. No questions asked. Just let her go. Bring her home. We just want her home. She's Mom.
All right, Sheriff, thank you so much for speaking with us. I know that you have several interviews with all media outlets, but we appreciate the time.
You guys, I told everybody. NBC News gets a privilege to have me anytime they want, because that's her family. That is family. My local media, you all have the same privileges. I know the national media is crazy. Sometimes they're like jackals, but I'm learning. It's my fault. We have to find a better way to communicate and work with them. I hope today's was a little better, but you know, they have a job to do too, and we'll get through all this.
Okay, appreciate it.
Today, we just have to find Nancy. Yesterday, we needed to find Nancy. And more than a month ago, we were looking for Nancy. And now we are reflecting, and many of us are wondering if law enforcement lack of attention given to people, places, and things earlier on in this investigation has made it nearly impossible for anyone to ever find Nancy.
It's been over 4 days now. They have put back up the crime scene tape and apparently have done a grid search and have accessed her garage. This is Nancy. At this point, police believe she was abducted. A ransom note was given to the media outlets, and they have no idea where she is.
We saw some things at the home that were concerning to us. We believe now, after we processed that crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime. And we're asking the community's help. This is a 84-year-old lady who suffers from some physical ailments, has some physical challenges, is in need of medication. Medication that if she doesn't have in 24 hours, it could be fatal. Miss Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie, is of great sound mind. This is not a dementia related. She is as sharp as a tack. She is very limited in her mobility, right? We know she didn't just walk out of there. That we know. It's a challenge for her to get, as the family says, she couldn't walk 50 yards.
Right. Stories on Fox 1. Our friend Nancy Grace is back with us. All right, we have a bomb squad, SWAT team, mobile command center. We remember the last time that mobile command center was out there, that person was detained that night, and we went to bed hopeful that they might have broken open this case.
Yes, Carlos Palazuelos was detained that night, and we had hoped that would lead to finding Nancy Guthrie. It did not. Significant. This is only the second time during the Guthrie investigation that SWAT, Bomb Squad, Mobile Command has moved out. They have been gone for hours. They're near the Marana area. It's nestled between two sets of mountains, between the Santa Catalina Mountains and the Tortolita Mountains. It's right down in there in the valley. No word from them, which means they're still deployed the same way they were the other night when Palazuelos was focused upon. And remember, he was focused upon, we believe, because his cell phone kept showing up in Nancy Guthrie's area. He delivered to her neighborhood. Interesting what Harvey Levin said about his team, searching the backpack, searching the jacket. Everybody's doing that. He's been very successful at that. We did the same, and we also found the ski mask. A similar ski mask is also sold at Walmart. So Walmart appears to be Kidnap Central. Now, I want to address that video. I've looked at it very carefully, unblurred. That occurred, I believe, January 23, in the early morning hours around the same time Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped. Why is this guy on a porch near her neighborhood around the same time fiddling with the door cam? Ringing a bell? Now, again, that guy is not named a person of interest or a suspect, but it brings up the specter that Nancy's kidnapping is random, that some guy's going along trying to find women, elderly, somebody living alone and getting into their home. I agree with you, Sean. Not the case in Guthrie's kidnapping. Another thing, the pool cleaners came out to Nancy Guthrie's home, and apparently they let them clean the pool. I'm all for cleaning pools, but this is a crime scene. Stop allowing people on to the scene. Haven't we learned anything?
Just going back up outside Nancy Guthrie's house. About a dozen sheriff's deputies and FBI. I think FBI showed up here. There's also a dog, canine. We have our drone up, so I should have better video in a second, but there's another team of officers that came in this van. And we don't really know what's going on because it's been quiet here for the last couple of days. But now clearly they are about to do something at the house. Keep you guys posted.
And they say that investigators are requesting all video footage. I'm going to read this exactly to you. That includes vehicles, vehicle traffic, people, pedestrians, and anything out of the ordinary or important to be sent to their investigators between the dates of January 1st and February 2nd, which it's interesting. They're going all the way back to January 1st. And they say that they sent this alert out to everyone who is living in this neighborhood and within about 2 miles of where Nancy Guthrie lives in the house behind me. So this is significant and interesting that they want to see any out of the ordinary video going all the way back to January 1st. We just got a new update from the Kemah.
This absolutely 100% could work.
We're learning authorities are using what's known as a Bluetooth sniffer to try to ping the signal on Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker. Now, this could be a critical new tool in this search that's now into its third week. So we've seen, and I'm going to show video, helicopters that were flying low over Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood during this search. What are they doing? How does this work?
The way that this works is that, Nancy has a pacemaker. And in that technology, there's what's called Bluetooth Low Energy, which emits a very non-powerful transmission that you can communicate with your mobile devices for. It's used for sending diagnostics to the hospital, to the manufacturer, things like that. And so what they're doing here is that they're flying really low to the ground because the distance you have to be able to intercept that transmission, that signal, that packet, is very low. So they're sweeping the areas looking for this transmission. And I was able to confirm that, based on the pacemaker that she has, it will broadcast every about 3 to 4 minutes or so with a very small transmission that if authorities are able to capture that, can triangulate exactly where Nancy is directly off of her pacemaker.
What's your advice if they haven't been able to locate that signal yet? What are the limitations of it?
So these devices normally only transmit from about 15 feet to 35 feet in a great situation. And with these high gain antennas and amplifiers, we can get over to 800 feet to even 1,000 feet, depending on, how close the transmission is. So we can actually get much further with that. And so, the biggest thing is this looks to be a new capability. If they're using helicopters, this isn't the most desired type of way to deploy this type of situation, because a lot of the electromagnetic interference that you're going to get from the helicopters themselves, it'd be much more efficient to deploy drones, can cover much more distance and get closer to the ground to actually do this. So, I'm hoping that they're taking kind of the next steps of deploying drones.
On week 6, instead, he is saying absolutely there's a concern to the public out there. And we've known since day one what this person was doing and what he had planned to do when he was in there. We've known effectively motive. My words, not his. But you heard me. You heard him. So what the hell is it? You've known since day one what the suspect was doing there and that there's a concern to the public? Then why didn't you say that on day 1 and day 2? Why did you tell us, no worries, no concern? And why did my sources tell me what your focus was on day 1? You towed the brother-in-law's car. Then you searched their house. You called off the search for Nancy Guthrie. You turned over the scene and you told the public there was nothing to worry about. What changed, Sheriff Nanos? Did we have nothing to worry about on day 1 because your beliefs were something else? Or did you not believe since day 1 that there was a danger to the community out there and that you've known all along what the motive is?
You think that this suspect could strike again, whoever did this?
Well, absolutely. We believe we know why he did this, and we believe that it was targeted, but we're not 100% sure of that. And so it'd be silly to tell people, yeah, don't worry about it. You're not his target. Don't think for a minute that because it happened to the Guthrie family, you're safe. No, keep your wits about it.
Given what we know and what we don't know, with your professional expertise and background, what do you think happened?
It was likely, in my opinion, a planned abduction. I can say that. Just due to the time the offender entered their home at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. it's not the time you enter a home for typical time for a burglary. So they entered at 2 a.m. They allegedly removed Nancy from the property. Publicly, we don't have proof that she was removed from the property, but that seems like the most likely scenario, that she was removed by the man with the mask in the video.
Wait, we have proof that she's removed from the property. She's gone, right?
She's gone, but was she removed by the person in the video? I just can't say 100% that I know that as a member of the public.
What would be the alternative theory about why she's not there?
The only alternative theory would be 2 independent events. This individual entered the property, got in contact with Nancy, either intentionally or unintentionally, left, and then Nancy left injured, looking for assistance. Unlikely, but publicly, I don't know that didn't happen. I'm leaning more towards she was taken by this individual in the mask.
Let me jump in there only because the sheriff has confirmed to us that she was taken. They've said 100% she didn't wander. This wasn't a case of elderly dementia or anything else, and that the signs in the house, which he couldn't give us, indicated 100% that Nancy was taken against her will. So that's what we know publicly.
Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there. We want her home. The sheriff's department, along with all of our partners at the FBI, have been working around the clock. And we just want her home and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this, just as you did.
Hi there. I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed. And every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then, of worrying about her and fearing for her and aching for her. And most of all, just missing her, just missing her. We know that millions of you have been praying. So many people have been praying of every faith and no faith at all, praying for her return. And we feel those prayers. Please keep praying without ceasing. We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves and is dancing in heaven with her mom and her dad and with her beloved brother Pierce and with our daddy. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home. For that reason, we are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now. We also know that we are not alone in our loss. We know there are millions of families that have suffered with this kind of uncertainty. And for that reason today, we also are donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their work in helping families who are coping with loss and actively looking for those who are lost. We are hoping that the attention that has been given to our mom and our family will extend to all the families like ours who are in need and need prayers and need support. So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark. Thank you.
How does the FBI go about guaranteeing that people who do reach out, that they actually remain anonymous?
Yeah, so Craig, experts say that let's say you submit a tip, it qualifies for the reward, you want to remain anonymous, you can then pick up that reward at a neutral location that's decided, often a place like a post office. That reward will likely be given to you in cash, and all you have to do is show that unique PIN number that's associated with your tip. You do not need to show your ID. Experts say it is really not traceable and no questions asked.